DhaniDhanz!
What up, gangsters? If you guys have been around long enough, you will know that I like to get a lot of my ideas for videos from watching other videos, and I do like a response video. But it's a response video to a response video to a response video of an original. All three videos in the description. Feel free to watch them before you watch mine, or just at some point just watch them. Hot topic of digital versus physical copies of games. I'm all about digital, and I will tell you why. But I'm all about digital new games, and it will all make sense to you by the end of this video. I've written down a list of pros and a list of cons. Now, I'm in favor for digital games, as you already know. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you know of the cons for digital games, and then I'm going to go on to the pros. And hopefully, I will convince some of you to go digital. So the very first con of buying games digitally that I came up with is the simple fact that you can't play it before its release date and time. So yeah, you can't play the game before its official release date, basically. And that's a con, because with a physical copy, if you are lucky enough to source it beforehand, you can play a week before, 2 weeks before, however early you get the game. Another con, you can't take it to a friend's house. You can't just think, oh, I'm going over to Jimmy's house, let me take out my disc and take the game. You have to take the whole Xbox, or get them to download it, which I will come back to later. Another con of buying digital games is that the download time can be ridiculous. Download times for games can easily be up to like 6 hours, and I have super fast internet. I think it was Advanced Warfare that actually took about 6 hours to download. It's ridiculous. Another con of buying digital games is that you have to pay retail price. I think it was Afraid Not's video, he made a point that I think Call of Duty Ghosts on the Xbox One is still about £55, which is ridiculous because it's over a year old and sucked. So yeah, so that is a con to digital games, that you always have to pay retail price, except for, of course, when they've got like games of gold and deals going on, but the majority of the time you're paying full price. Another con of buying games digitally, you own them forever, and why that's bad is that it means no trade-ins. Some people are huge on their trade-ins. They like to buy a game for £50 and trade it in and get £20 worth off another game at a later date. Another con is that you don't get boxes. Some people like to have shelves stacked with games. Some people like that. Me, I'm not bothered. Now, on to the pros. Why I do buy digital copies of new games only. I know I'm mentioning this first, but it is by no means like the decider, but I'm lazy. I am so lazy, and I'm not sat, next to my console. It's a lot easier for me to say, Xbox, go to Titanfall, than get up, walk all the way to the console, eject a disc, put another disc in. You get it. Another pro to buying a game digitally is that you do not need to leave your house. Some of you will be sitting there saying, Dhani, you're lazy, but you know what? When it's 11 PM at night and you just feel for a new game, you can just download it. That's it. Need I say more? Okay, this one, I don't even know if it's a pro. I'm not actually sure. This is just something that came to mind, but having the game installed on the hard drive, does that make loading times quicker? Another pro to digital games is that once they are downloaded, they are also installed. So yes, you can get games sometimes cheaper in a physical copy, but sometimes those games, you bring them home and then you've got like, I think Afraid Not said he had to do a 4-hour install of Halo Master Chief Edition. Imagine, let's even say you got the game at midnight. You get home in 5 minutes because you're fortunate enough to live 5 minutes from the game shop. Then you put the game in, you want to play it, and you've got to wait 4 hours for it to install. I'd fall asleep in that 4 hours. Also, just to touch on one of the points I made in the cons about not being able to take it to a friend's house anymore. Most games nowadays, they don't even give you the option to play multiplayer local. Unless it's Call of Duty, you can't. And Titanfall, you can't. Destiny, you can't. Yeah, I don't really play anything else. But my point is that I wouldn't feel a need to take my game to anyone else's house because all my friends have the games. It's like we do some like mental agreement that everyone's going to get the game. Oh, FIFA's a game that you could take to a friend's house, but like I said, everyone has the game anyway. And if you play FIFA with a friend, like sitting next to them, they always watch your control pad when it gets to penalties. Oh yeah, one of the really obvious pros to buying digitally is that you can't damage your game. You know, it's software, it's not hardware, so you can't damage it. It's always available. You can always re-download it on your account. Now, these are the 3 reasons why I prefer to buy games digitally. I don't know if this works for the PS4, but I'm working with an Xbox One. The main reason why I buy games digitally for the Xbox One is that I get them half price. I really don't know why more people don't do this. I've buddied up with a friend. I think he's logged into my account on his Xbox and set it as the home console, something like that. Anyway, basically it means that we can both download the game off my account and we can both play it on our separate accounts from the Xbox at the same time. With that being said, it means that we pay half price for the game. But it does not stop there. So a new game on the Xbox UK store will be about £50 or £55. The beauty of buying digitally is that you can pay in any currency. If you change your Xbox One's region, you now get what I have, which is basically the US Xbox store. And any of you that are good at maths knows that the exchange rate is pretty good into dollars at the moment. So a brand new game on the Xbox US store is about $60, I believe. And when you convert it, it works out to about £37. That's almost £20 saved. But it does not stop there either. Once you combine these 2 methods, oh my goodness, next gen games are just so cheap. So let's just recap before I, really explain it. Buying a game physically will cost you £50. If I just buy it physically for myself, I'll go to the shop and spend £50. But if I share my account with a friend, that £50 game now becomes 25. Are you following? Are you following me? But also, if I now buy it off of the US store, that £50 game is now £37. Let's call it 38 for argument's sake. Now my half price of 50 is now half price of 38. If that is not enough reason for you to switch from physical to digital, then I don't know what it is, and you just must be rich. If you use the region change method, you actually get to play the games when they're released in US time, which isn't great for us in the UK because we're ahead of you. But if a game is being released earlier in the US, then it works wonders for us. For example, this February, I think it was February, when Titanfall came out, I was on the US store, so I had the game on the Tuesday, whereas it was actually released in the UK on the Friday.